CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Connor Hogg.
I felt disingenuine and quite simply wrong to be sitting on the sidelines anymore. So I reached out to the Prime Minister's office and will be joining his caucus, and I couldn't be more proud.
Edmonton Riverbend MP Matt Genereux has become the third Conservative since the last election to cross the floor and join the Liberals. In November, he said he intended to step down, but never officially did. Good evening. Matt Genereux says after reflecting with his family and constituents, he wanted to continue serving in Parliament. He says he decided to work with Carney to, quote, help build our country's strength as we face the challenges ahead. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports.
It's a great honor to be on the same team as you at a crucial time.
Matt Genereux and Prime Minister Mark Carney sat side by side in Edmonton today, speaking as colleagues instead of adversaries. Genereux says he knew he wanted to work with Carney after the PM's speech in Davos.
I think for me, that's where a lot of the world changed. I think it opened a lot of eyes for Canadians, Albertans, Edmontonians, just how serious this national meeting crisis truly is.
During the federal election last spring, Genereux won his riding for the Conservatives by more than 3,000 votes. In November, there were rumors Genereux would cross the floor. Instead, he announced he would resign as an MP. We asked people in Edmonton Riverbend about Genereux's move.
Well, I voted Liberal in the last election, and obviously Mr. Genereux was elected here, and so I'm just pleased that he crossed the floor and we're that much closer to a majority government.
The man's a coward. He's a liar.
Do you feel betrayed?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, people here did not vote for a Liberal government, and that's who he's supporting.
Genereux is the third Conservative to cross the floor in as many months. This MacEwan University political science professor says under Carney, the Liberal Party has become more centrist, making the move less surprising.
This becomes much more of a thing that they can do in terms of switching parties and still feel like they're representing their constituents, they're able to achieve and focus on the issues that they want to.
The recent efforts to bring Alberta and Ottawa closer together, Boyd says adding an extra Albertan voice will help.
I think that makes a big deal for the Liberal Party and the federal government here in Alberta.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is accusing Genereux of betraying his constituents. He says Carney is trying to seize a Liberal majority through, quote, dirty backroom deals. Now that the federal government has outlined its Made in Canada defense strategy, Alberta is hoping to get involved. The Edmonton Region Defense Alliance launched today, made up of people from government, industry, and education. CTV's Amanda Anderson explains.
And we need to be ready to respond within a very short amount of time.
Edmonton's mayor believes the capital region is in a very good position to help the federal government realize its defense industrial strategy aimed at reducing Canada's reliance on foreign suppliers to supply the Canadian Armed Forces.
Edmonton is a leader in innovation, AI, research, advanced manufacturing, and life sciences.
Right now, Canada needs to do its part, and all of us need to do our part for Canada to improve our defense ecosystem, to support the Canadian Armed Forces, and really realize what Mark Carney's asking us to do, which is to step up and do our part.
In anticipation of the strategy, the Edmonton Region Defense Alliance was formed to be ready to respond.
The spotlight really is now on Edmonton and our natural assets and all of the work that we've already been doing to accelerate that spending and make sure that Edmonton companies, industry, has a piece of that pie.
Innovation takes place across the spectrum. It's not just about the fancy technologies that we see. It's also about small things that make soldiers' lives better. Things like new solvents so it's easier to clean a tank. It's about how we as a region can support the Canadian Armed Forces.
As the northernmost major city, the Alliance believes Edmonton is suited to be a logistics hub for Canada's Arctic. The Edmonton International Airport is finalizing plans to become a main operating base in the west, extending CFB Edmonton, CFB Wainwright, and Four Wing Cold Lakes defense operations.
So we're very much focused at our airports on increasing the amount of defense supply chain activities that are happening there, including in training and including in logistics.
As the Alliance takes off,
some of this funding could start flowing within the next few months.
The mayor hopes to dedicate city staff to support the process. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Police are looking for witnesses or video from an area in southeast Edmonton following a shooting last week. Officers were called to Watt Common Southwest and 50th Street Southwest just after 6 p.m. Friday. They found a 32-year-old man with gunshot wounds. He was taken to hospital. Police believe he will survive. Anyone with dashcam or security footage from that area taken between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. last Friday is asked to contact police. A truck driver from Stony Plain is dead after he stopped to check on another driver. It happened north of Athabasca on Highway 813. RCMP say the 57-year-old pulled his transport truck onto the shoulder to see if a driver in the ditch was okay. Police say he was brushing snow off the back of his trailer when a pickup hit him. He died on the way to hospital. The pickup driver was not hurt. RCMP believe weather and road conditions were factors in the crash. The city's Phase 1 parking ban is in effect as crews work 24/7 to clear main streets. 120 city-operated plows and trucks are clearing city streets. The city says private contractors operating about 100 graders also started working right away last night, unlike in December during this winter's first major snowfall. Under the Phase 1 parking ban, vehicles on major roads, bus routes, and streets with seasonal no parking signs must be moved. The city says it will decide later this week if a Phase 2 parking ban for residential roads is needed.
We will be evaluating snowpack, safety conditions, and rutting in residential roadways on Friday, and we'll have an update at that time for our plan to either go in and groom the residential roadways or the potential for an additional Phase 2 ban.
The city says most drivers comply with a Phase 1 parking ban, and typically it's during the residential parking ban when most of the tickets are handed out. To avoid being fined, you can sign up for a parking ban notification on the city's website. A new affordable housing development is going ahead in South Edmonton despite neighbours going to great lengths to stop it. One took the issue to court, arguing the city didn't consult properly. The court ruled in their favour, but as CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, it didn't change the end result.
For nearly 40 years, people in Wedgwood have been using this space as a park. Now, more than a dozen neighbors are pleading with council to keep it that way, rather than selling it to Treaty 8 First Nations to build townhomes with half of the 60 units subsidized.
You are giving away a well-used, beautiful community park for free. This development will destroy it forever.
Sometimes doing the right thing means not doing the wrong thing. So please do the right thing today.
The northeast corner of Wedgwood Heights Park was deemed surplus by the school boards in 2009. The city had it earmarked for housing ever since. Council has already been through a public hearing like this, but that 2024 meeting dealt with 11 surplus school sites at once. Leah Wadnowski felt that process was unfair and took it to a judicial review. In her ruling, the King's Bench Justice said the mandatory public hearing on the motion was not held, rendering the sale approval procedurally unfair.
It's not that we didn't hear from the public, it's that we didn't hear from the public in the way the courts felt that we should.
The court ruled, bring it back. So we are here today at a full public hearing.
Wadnowski has dedicated countless hours to saving Wedgwood Park, including preparing presentations for more than a dozen of her neighbors. They argue the city's procedural misstep, combined with the park's value for the neighborhood and beyond, should be reason enough to leave it as is. The Grand Chief of Treaty 8 says subsidized housing is vital.
Without adequate housing, that price is going to keep going up, which leaves our most vulnerable people at risk. So, we're just looking for solutions. We're looking to be a part of the solution.
It should never be parkland versus housing. Those two things are both incredibly important.
In the end, housing won. Council voted to sell the land to Treaty 8 for $1, citing the city's need for affordable housing and reconciliation. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Mayor Andrew Knack says the land use decision was a tough one. He says the park site was the only place for affordable housing in that neighborhood.
Really the one site that allows us to provide more housing, and in this case specifically for Indigenous families that are at the greatest level of core housing need of anyone.
For me, it would be about having those initial conversations beforehand and laying out expectations, saying that this site is going to be developed. What do we do to get there?
Knack says he wants future discussions involving land sales below market value and land use designation to be conducted in public hearings instead of in private. Thu Parmar says she'll meet with administration to discuss how the city can get replacement soccer fields in that community. Hundreds of schools across Alberta will soon have teams to help address complexities in the classroom. Not all divisions are getting the same support. CTV's Evan Kenny has more on how the province is divvying it up.
An apple.
Schools across the province have students with complex needs. To help address this, the province is spending $143 million to add complexity teams to nearly 480 schools. The teams are made up of 2 educational assistants and 1 teacher.
Yes, we're happy there's an intervention being done right now. However, it's not enough. We need much more intervention.
Mandy Lamoureux is the president of the union representing education support staff and is a former EA herself. She's seen classrooms at their best and worst and says more within the system needs to change.
There's times I sat in my car at the end of the day crying and asking myself, what am I doing?
Divisions across the province will be getting support from the government, but how much depends on the individual school's needs.
There's 655 classrooms that they identified, but they're only providing funding for 476 teams. If they identified 655, then we should have 655 complexity teams going into schools.
Edmonton Public Schools are getting 101 teams and 42 are going to Edmonton Catholic. To decide where the resources should go, the province looked at 9 complexities, such as learning disabilities and English as an additional language.
They identified them in a matrix of high, medium, and low, and they're targeting the money in these classroom complexity teams to the classrooms that have the high-level complexities.
These complexity teams are only for K-6 classrooms, with the money coming from last year's budget. The ATA and EA's union hope next week's provincial budget continues to address these issues.
There needs to be a better commitment by government to address all of the classrooms that they have identified through their own data.
The education minister says he is confident that this first step will help ease some of the pressure schools and teachers are facing, and even more supports will be rolled out soon. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province says Albertans are one step closer to getting the right long-term care for seniors. The Assisted Living Navigation Portal provides users with a map of supports that residents and their families can access across the province. Those include supportive living accommodations, spaces available, and out-of-pocket costs. By 2035, it's estimated there will be 1 million seniors in Alberta.
And in 20 years, 1 in 5 Albertans will be a senior. That's why assisted living is such a critical part of the conversation when we talk about Alberta's healthcare system. And it's why it's more important than ever that Albertans have a clear understanding of what supports are available for them and their loved ones as they age.
The portal will add new features as it rolls out over time. Premier Danielle Smith is being called on to defend one of her staffers over a controversial social media statement. As CTV's Kevin Green reports, it's the same staff member who was under fire after saying a young man questioning the Alberta Next panel should be spanked.
Bruce McAllister heads the Premier's Calgary office and was the chair of the Alberta Next Commission when he said this to a teen questioning the panel.
Your parents should turn you over your knee. Let's go over here.
He apologized for that, but Wednesday he was courting controversy again, taking to X decrying Canada's record of immigration, saying the people orchestrating this reckless, unsustainable mass immigration into Canada fill me with profound disgust. In the lengthy tweet, he went on to say, why import from nations with failed systems when our Judeo-Christian heritage and principles have worked so well here? CTV contacted McAllister for clarification, but he hung up on us, so we asked the Premier.
Do those views of Mr. McAllister about countries of origin and Judeo-Christian values represent the views of you, the Premier's office, and the United Conservative Party?
Well, I can tell you that Western society is based on the Socratic Judeo-Christian tradition. If you go back and look about why it is we have the society we do, there's no question that there are some foundational influences to that.
Smith also defended Alberta's record of welcoming immigrant diaspora communities, but later under questioning seemed to place the blame for school complexity issues on immigrant children.
Whether because they come from war-torn countries, don't speak English, or have other types of issues with delays, it has put an immense pressure, almost to the point of breaking, on many of our schools.
McAllister's tweet mirrors the language of far-right groups around the world, according to immigration lawyer Raj Sharma.
It sort of smacks of things that we've heard from other places, whether it's Brexit, of the far right, whether it's from France, whether it's from the MAGA and the Trump crowd as well.
Smith's chief of staff also tweeted about immigration, hinting the premier may be making changes. Rob Anderson posted, "Watch the televised address of Premier Danielle Smith Thursday. This absolute insanity has to stop. It will." Smith would only say she has several topics to address Thursday, the economy being top of list. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Paul Coffey will soon be back behind the Oilers bench. The team says he'll be rejoining the Oilers coaching staff. Coffey was in charge of the Oilers defense from November 2023 through the 24-25 season. During that span, the Oilers allowed less than 3 goals a game, which was the 5th best mark in the league. Coffey is expected to join the club Friday. The Oilers are back in action next Wednesday. Coming up next, while snow is still very much on the ground, the province is preparing for the looming start of wildfire season. And also just ahead, students from across Alberta head to Parliament Hill to push for more help for kids as they navigate their online lives.
The question is whether the government is ready to meet us with the same courage, humility, and urgency.
Well, it is cold, and it's going to be pretty cold overnight. The cold is going to stick around at least for the next 5 days. But then, as we head towards the end of February, a warm-up coming our way. So this cold snap will be short-lived. We just have to get through the next overnight lows, which are going to be around -30. I'll have more details on that coming up.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A group of students from across Alberta were on Parliament Hill to push for more online protections for future generations. 12 students traveled from Edmonton, Calgary, St. Albert, and Grand Prairie alongside reps from the John Humphrey Centre for Peace and Human Rights. They want the federal government to work on online policies that would protect the next generation from exploitation, discrimination, and violence, while also including their perspectives, also releasing a youth digital rights blueprint. The students say negative experiences online that happened at a young age can have long-term impacts on mental health.
My light kind of dimmed, you could say. Like the spark that you have as a child where you're happy and you want to do all these things and you have these dreams, these kind of cruel areas can really diminish people's light.
We're ready to work. The question is whether the government is ready to meet us with the same courage, humility, and urgency.
The students are calling for a National Safety Advisory Council for kids online, as well as improved reporting systems. France and Australia have recently brought in social media bans for young people, and Ottawa has promised that a new online harms bill is coming soon. These students want to see buffers in place rather than outright bans. Alberta's newest political party launched last night with a goal of giving voters an alternative between the NDP and the UCP. The Progressive Tory Party of Alberta revealed its new logo here in Edmonton. The party will be led by MLA Peter Guthrie, who stepped down from the UCP cabinet. He was later removed from the UCP caucus for speaking out about the healthcare contract issue. Guthrie had planned to use the Progressive Conservative Party label, but UCP legislation put a stop to that.
We have seen threats, interference, lawsuits, injunctions, even legislation aimed at keeping the word conservative off the ballot. But every attempt to block us reveals something important. We must be on the right track.
Guthrie says the new party will be a reformed version of the Alberta Party, once led by former Edmonton Mayor Stephen Mandel. Guthrie says it's a party for those who feel politically homeless and looking for a return of normal, boring government. The province has started preparing for this year's wildfire season. Media were invited to tour the province's coordination centre today. Alberta Wildfire says hiring for this season is already underway and is a big part of its winter workload.
We look at, being ready for when the snow is getting off the ground. So we look at, okay, when are the tanker bases going to be open? When are the crews going to be not just on, but trained and ready to fight fire?
Alberta Wildfire says some firefighters have remained on staff through the winter. Many of them are currently helping with fires in Australia. The province's official start to wildfire season is less than 2 weeks away. Local hockey fans were up early to cheer on the Canadian men's hockey team, who secured a win to advance to the medal rounds at the Winter Olympics.
I could do this every morning, I would.
Fans were thrilled. Some bars opened early to show Canada versus Czechia this morning. The game was a nail-biter. Canada down 1, scored late in the third, forcing the game into overtime, where Mitch Marner came up on clutch. One negative, Sidney Crosby got hurt and left the game. The manager of first round says they're thrilled to be able to offer extended hours during games like this.
The response has been great. Like, they just appreciate that someone's willing to open up this early just to let them watch hockey and, you know, watch best on best. So it's great.
Any bar interested in offering extended liquor service hours must provide 3 days' notice to the AGLC. The Canadian men's hockey team plays again on Friday against Finland in the semifinals. And the Olympic journey is over for Oilers forward Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl's German hockey club lost to Slovakia today in the quarterfinals. Draisaitl finished his Olympic debut with 2 goals and 5 assists in 5 games, achieving a family milestone. His father also played hockey for Germany. Coming up next, Mother Nature drops temperatures just in time for Edmonton firefighters' annual campout for muscular dystrophy. Still, they're not complaining.
So if we can come up here and raise money and just being aware that physical activity and movement is important for everybody.
Coming up Thursday on Your Morning, how AI data centers and electric vehicles could impact Alberta's energy future, and saving during the squeeze, how you can make the most of expensive times by using credit cards to your advantage.
Programming brought to you by Senior Home Care by Angels, Canada's choice in home care.
Well, it was cold here in Edmonton today. Temperature-wise, we only made it up to -23, but with the wind, wasn't even a very strong wind, but with the wind, it felt a lot colder. At times, our wind chill value today was around -34. As we go throughout the overnight, very similar wind chill. The wind will be easing, but as our temperature drops off, it's going to feel quite cold. So you really need to be dressed for these conditions. Reduce the amount of exposed skin that you have, or else you'll be vulnerable to things like frostbite if you're spending time outside and exposed to the conditions. As we take a look at today's highs, for us, -23, -24 at the airport. Fort McMurray only made it up to -28. In the south, Calgary -23, Lethbridge -20. So we felt the cold throughout the province. Tomorrow, everyone should be a little bit warmer. We're not going to see a big warm up, but a little bit warmer. So we'll feel a little bit of relief tomorrow. And with it, we will see a lot of sun as well. Mainly sunny for us here in Edmonton, central and southern areas. In the north, we'll see a little bit more cloud northwest of the city into the northwest corner as well. And then as we go throughout Friday, we'll start off with a mix of sun and cloud. And then late Friday, as we head into Saturday, we've got more cloud moving into the picture. Let's take a look at tomorrow. As I said, it'll be a little bit warmer. We'll see some temperatures into the negative teens. Whitecourt -16, Slave Lake -18. Again, a mix of sun and cloud. Fort McMurray -21 instead of -28 like today. So that's a bit better. Lethbridge -12. So still cold in the south, but an improvement from what we saw today. For us, -17. It'll feel like -36 in the morning, feeling like -23 in the afternoon. So still feeling very cold. -15 for Friday and Saturday. Sunday and Monday -16. And then the cold snap comes to an end as our temperatures climb out of it. Tuesday will feel nice at -11. Warmer air continuing to push in. We could be just below the freezing mark for Wednesday and Thursday and just above for Friday. After that, we do see temperatures drop once again. We'll keep an eye on that, see how that develops. In the meantime, it's going to be cold for at least the next 5 days.
The temperature has dropped just in time for the annual Firefighters Rooftop Campout for muscular dystrophy. Edmonton firefighters are staked out on the roof of Fire Hall 2 trying to raise $71,000. Muscular dystrophy causes progressive muscle weakness and degeneration. Firefighters say this is just a small way they can help.
If it's one thing that we recognize is we're very grateful for our physical ability, especially with our jobs being very physically demanding, and realizing that not everybody has that luxury. So if we can come up here and raise money and just being aware that physical activity and movement is important for everybody, and if we can help out with that cause, we're more than able to.
The crew is camping out until the 20th, making it harder. The firefighters are starting out with no equipment. As they raise more money, they'll earn more gear that will make their camping experience a little more comfortable. Thanks for watching us tonight. For news anytime, you can visit our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. From all of us at CTV, thanks for spending your time here. Have a good night.